This conference will now be recorded.
The board has completed its executive session and is now back in public session. It is now 1:04 p.m. All right. And move on to action items. Okay, case number 3744.
Case number 3744, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A, one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 4 violations of ORS 687.021 sub 1C, for a total civil penalty in the amount of $6,000.
All in favor?
I second.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Carol.
I'm trying to
Carol,
second.
Thank you.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3730.
Case 3730, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A, one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 6 violations of ORS 687.021 sub 1C, for a total civil penalty of $8,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3786. Carol?
Case 3786. I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 3 violations of ORS 687.021 sub 1C, 1 violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1D, 1 violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 12 for total civil penalties of $6,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Case 3760.
Case 3760, I move to issue a NOPA for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A for total civil penalties of $1,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3753.
Sorry, 3753, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A for a civil penalty of $1,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3764.
Case 3764, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 5 violations of ORS 687.0211C sub 1C, 1 violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1D, 1 violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 12, for a total civil penalty in the amount of $8,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3783.
Case 3783, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for ORS 687.021 sub 1A for a total civil penalty in the amount of $1,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3767.
Case 3767, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 3 violations of ORS 687.021 sub 1C, and 1 violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 12 for a total civil penalty of $5,000.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3785.
Case 3785, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for ORS 687.021 sub 1A for a total civil penalty in the amount of $1,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3773.
Case 3773, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for 1 violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A for a civil penalty of $1,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3703.
Case 3707?
7.
I'm sorry, 707.
Okay.
Thank you.
Case 3707, I move to notice of proposed action for 1 violation of ORS, is that OAR?
OAR.
Apologies. OAR 334-030-005 sub 1G. 1 violation of OAR 334-030-005 sub 2A. 1 violation of OAR 334-030-0005 sub 2C. And 1 violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 25E, F, and G for a total civil penalty of $1,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good job.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3780.
Case 3780, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for 1 violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 3 violations of ORS 687.021 sub C, 1 violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 12 for total civil penalties of $5,000 and refer to law enforcement.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case,
Becky, can we go back to 3707?
sure.
I think I'd like to add an ORS that brings in the rules. So under ORS 687-081-1A, it allows you to discipline for violation of any rule. And so technically, for the notice to be correct, we have to have that ORS in there.
Okay,
So if you can just amend the motion to include ORS 687.081-1A.
687.
0.081, 1A is an atom.
do we need to vote to amend this because we
Yeah.
voted? Okay.
Yeah.
So could somebody move to,
I will move to amend case 3707 and add 1 violation of ORS 680.081 sub
687.
687, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
1 violation of ORS 687.081 sub 1A.
Correct.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed?
Thank you, lawyer.
No problem.
Motion carries. Two.
Yeah.
There we go. Case 3792.
90.
0.
9-0.
I thought we were on 14, sorry. Case 3790.
Case 3790, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A for a total civil penalty of $1,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3792.
Case 3792, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for denying the application for initial licensure.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3768.
Case 3768, I move to issue a letter of concern for one violation of OAR 334-030-0005 sub 1B and one violation of OAR 334-030-0005 sub 2A.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3779.
Case 3779, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 12, one violation of OAR 334-020-0005 sub 1 III, and one violation of OAR 334-020-0005 sub 2 for a penalty of, I move to revoke the license.
And I think we probably should add in 687-081 1J in here as well.
All right, I move to include one violation of ORS 687.081.1J.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3793.
Case 3793, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1A for a total civil penalty of $1,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3685.
Case 3685, I move to dismiss the NOPA and close case 3685.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3796.
Case 3796, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 5 violations of ORS 687.021 sub 1C, 1 violation of OAR 334-040-0010 sub 12 for a total civil penalty of $7,000.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3068.
Case 3068, I move to approve the stipulated agreement with reduced civil penalty.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3781.
Case 3781, I move to issue a notice of proposed action for one violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1B, 2 violations of ORS 687.021 sub 1C, 1 violation of ORS 687.021 sub 1D, for a total civil penalty of $4,000.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case 3615.
Case 3615, I move to accept the amended proposed order to include all costs.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, today, I think you know my case.
Okay,
What?
do we need a break here? Okay. Let's move into the meeting item or meeting work item review.
I don't think there's anything.
I don't see anything in my notes either. For the next meeting. Carol, did you have anything?
Well, I'm curious about where we're at with the legislative concept for having massage therapists included as mandatory reporters.
So, Kate and I have both been attending meetings with the legislative,
Fiscal?
rule, I can't think of the acronym right now. I can think of the acronym, I can't think of what it stands for, but they're helping myself and the Kate propose those,
Legislative concept.
yeah, legislative concepts. So we're working on it. It's different this year. Actually, it started about a year and a half ago. It's going through a different process. The governor's office has sort of made a team of individuals, and they're doing some training with rule coordinators and people that propose legislative concepts, state workers, state agencies. And so we're going through that process with them right now. I can't give you a date, when that might be available, but it is in the works. And in fact, I just got some emails from them this morning about some training they wanted us to attend, so.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, at this point, we'll move to public comments. I only see one member of the public still here. If you had anything you want to go over, Ashley, put your camera, let us know. Otherwise, we'll move on.
Hi. So I don't really have anything in particular to go over, but I did just want to say I'm here to support y'all with anything you need. So if in the interim between meetings, y'all have any questions about any of FSMV services or anything going on in the regulatory world, I'm more than happy to help. So I'm here to support y'all in any way you need.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
I have a public comment. I would just like to thank the board for putting up with me for the last, I don't even know how long I've had this client, maybe 2005-ish. How long have you been here?
11, 12?
Okay, so at least that long, because I was here when Bob came.
Yeah.
And Jeff and I have had some really fun times, taking some real pain in the butt people to hearing. I've enjoyed this greatly. And I hope you guys have a great time ahead with Angie. I think she's gonna be great, and many successes to getting the human trafficking under control.
Thank
Hope you enjoy your
We're gonna
retirement.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
And
you,
if you
Lord.
need anything, you know where to find me. I know I'm not working, but I'll try to help you. If it's if we can't find something we know it exists, just text me. I'll help you.
Cases.
I'll help you. Yeah. So I'm giving my whole drive. I have all my documents for massage on my hard drive, and I'm moving that over to the S drive, so Angela will be able to find everything she needs. She can learn how to search it, and she can text me.
Wow,
Yeah, so you'll have all the documents,
that's a big help.
all the orders.
It's an undertaking.
Yeah, it's not that bad. So, thank
Well,
you.
it's been an honor working with you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So,
Right back at you.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Carol.
Any announcements? Okay, last meeting,
Yeah.
Thank you so much on behalf of all of us and everyone who came before that you have trained
Here's a plaque.
Oh, thank you.
generations of
We're gonna make her
people coming
special
through
plaque.
I don't even want to know what the special plaque has.
Doyle's place.
No.
Okay,
Booking photo.
if we don't have any other announcements, that's it. Can I get a motion to adjourn our meeting? Oh, I'm sorry, announcement. Next meeting is
New business.
July 20.
I have a little piece of new business. Are you ready for some new business?
Any business.
Does it fall into the business side? Because we'll have to do that in the next meeting.
No, we can do
Oh,
the
can we
business.
do it now under announcements?
I don't know what the agenda. Do
We
we
have
have new business on? the
Public
agenda?
comments, announcements, and then adjourn. We did
Depends
this.
on what it is. You could do it under, is it an announcement?
If we can do it as an announcement, Carol, otherwise it would go into the next meeting.
You can add an agenda item if
Yeah,
you
you
want.
can add it, yeah.
Just add an agenda item for new business and
Okay.
say it, yeah.
Can I get someone to move to,
I'll move to allow new business, to add an agenda item to allow new business.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, opening the floor for new business.
Right. I didn't have the wherewithal to do this earlier in the meeting when new business was normally scheduled. I want to first of all say that I'm not attached to holding being a board officer. That's not what this is about. But I think that it would be reasonable for us to have a discussion to revisit eligibility for being a board officer. And in particular, virtual versus in-person attendance. I'll say that I have a really important reason for not, well, two reasons actually, for not attending these meetings in person. One of them is that my husband is a transplant recipient. He takes medicine every day that weakens his immune system so that his body won't reject his transplanted organ. Therefore, he's very vulnerable to disease. He and I are both 72 years old. We're both vulnerable. And my participation on this board has consistently been virtual because of that, because I'm very concerned about spreading disease to my husband. I think that virtual attendance is a reasonable accommodation for my familiar relationship and his disability. I have acted once as board chair because our normal chair was not able to attend the meeting. As near as I can tell, I had no issues fulfilling those duties. So I'd be curious to know if there are other ways that I or other people are really less effective as board officers due to virtual participation, or are these just preferences rather than real issues? And finally, I think this begs a broader discussion about what does it take to participate on the board. If someone can't participate as a board officer because they can't attend meetings in person, does that also mean that those people would be less effective as board members in general? So what do you think?
I think, I think you can, a person can participate virtually. But certainly you can't do the tactile stuff, hands-on, but you can certainly be there and participate. If that's what you're asking, I think there's really no difference. I mean, with the exception of not being there, that's the difference, right? You're not physically there, but you are virtually there. I guess I don't really know what the answer to that is. I don't really know what the question is. The answer I have for you is there's really no difference, with the exception of you're not physically there.
That's what I think too. Yet board members were encouraged to vote against me because the only stated reason was that I was not able to attend in person.
They weren't encouraged to vote against you. I think that, I listened to that as well, and it's recorded on the thing, so we can play it back too. That was one board member expressing something, but saying that that board member understood why you did what you did, that you had to, and the board member said, I certainly understand that. Anybody could have brought forward any nomination for anybody, and people could have had discussion about it. I think that during the discussion phase of a nomination, people can discuss what they want within reason, right? And that was part of a discussion. I don't think anybody, the entire board had that discussion. It was somebody that mentioned that. And you were nominated as well. I don't think they encouraged anybody to vote against you. I didn't hear that at all. I was watching it, listening very careful, and I didn't catch that.
I was supposed to say, I feel like, as far as eligibility goes, my understanding is who's willing to serve, and then we throw names out there, nominate, have discussion, and vote. So I don't know that there's any criteria written for eligibility other than willingness and nomination and voting. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right. You have to be a board member in good standing.
Yeah, I don't know what action items need to happen about that. At this point, Carol, unless there was something you wanted to propose specifically, or open it up later, but I don't know what action, that we need to take any action on this.
I guess my question is, Becca, since you're in somewhat of a position of authority as the board chair, saying that my inability to attend meetings in person would be a reason why I might be a less desirable candidate to continue as vice chair. I guess that it would be good to have had a more fully fleshed out discussion about this, so that new board members in particular would understand what eligibility requirements are and are not.
Noted. Any other new?
I didn't feel like there was any sort of eligibility issues. I felt like if I wanted to nominate myself, I could have, and probably wouldn't have gotten any votes, but I didn't feel like there was any sort of an eligibility issue. I really appreciate the fact that the position moved, and knowing that it could move again in a year. And I like that. Yeah.
Okay, any other new business? Okay, and we've already covered our announcements, so at this point, we just need someone to move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll move to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 1:33 p.m.
All right,
Lori,
hey, Carol.
off by 2 minutes.
Oh,